So, you want to know how to kill Sans? Well, don't worry. I'm here to help walk you through most of this. So let's go all the way back to the equipment that you're going to need to get started. Now, when it comes to healing items, the best thing you can still have is the butterscotch pie from earlier in the game. Of course, it's understandable if you've used it at some point. I know Undyne is challenging. But you definitely can still have access to the instant noodles, which you pick up in Alfie's lab. The next most important item would be the face steak that you can pick up at the hotel, where you can also pick up the legendary heroes, but in between those two we've got the snowman pieces. You should still have 3 from the beginning, or if you're like me, you used up all of them already. Here's my inventory right here. Yup, this is what I'm going into the fight with. It's pretty decent. I've got my 2 most important items, and really, that's all you can really hope for. Now, if you know anything about the Sans fight, the only weapon that can give you an edge is the fry pan, which is located, well, right here, towards the beginning of the Hotlins section. If you use this item, it will heal you 4 more HP per healing item. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it can really help in the long run. Alright, let's get down to some rules. Rule number 1, Sans inflicts poison damage, which means that he will bleed your health over a short period of time for every time you get hurt. Speaking of which, there are no invincibility frames, so you will continue to be inflicted with damage until you move to safety. And finally, the only way to progress the battle is to fight. If you act or heal, you'll be in a standstill. It does not progress until you fight. Alright, let's get started then. Ready? Now this first attack I call literally something, and it's just a bunch of memorization. You gotta jump up, go up and down through this section, and watch the heart here. Notice that I move just a touch early, but not too early so I don't get grazed by any of the blasters. Really, that part's all about memorization. Just keep trying it, don't worry. Eventually, you'll be able to get through the entire thing without getting hit. First off, we've got Japes and Scrapes. This is Sans' typical attack. For that one, small controlled jumps is definitely the way to go. And you'll see it in all sorts of different iterations, don't worry, you'll see it later. Now this next one, I like to call the Achilles heel because it is my worst attack to do consistently. You kind of want to move diagonally, but you need to wait until after the blue bones have passed. So as you can see, oh, right there, I did not jump early enough. Got some damage there, and I didn't fall quickly enough on that one. So it's a really tough one to get consistently. Thankfully, you only have to see it just the once. Now as to this one, it's another version of Japes and Scrapes, and here's another one thrown in there. You're not going to see these back to back like this. I just wanted to show you some of the variations you can expect. Thankfully, it is relatively easy to dodge. Now, on to everybody's favorite thing, platforming. This first one is relatively simple. Just look out for the bones on the top of the ceiling, and also for this bone at the very end. So you're going to want to jump early and quickly. But other than that, not too stressful. Now, Super Mario World, the next platforming sequence, has this tricky section right here with the bones immediately above the platforms. When you get to this part, all you need to do is press right and it'll automatically put you onto the second platform. Yes, you will still need to do a little hop from the second to the third platform, but honestly, it's really quite simple. Now this next part we call Bone Saw. You're going to have 3 different tiers and you want to focus on staying on the bottom one. Try to do it in a circular motion like this. It makes it really easy to dodge the bones. Here's some alternate footage where I did screw it up at one point. Oh, see right there. I started traveling at the same pace as the bone, and as you can see, that kind of whittled down my health. Alright, here we go. We got the Bonelin Wall. Huh, I love these names. Anyways, I like to prioritize staying on the platform. I find that it's safer. A lot of people jump through the bones, but I think that's dangerous. Also, you can jump right there at the end because it will time out before you hit the bottom. So, well, it adds style points for 1, and for 2, it keeps you safe. Now, we got the Gaster Fracture. For this one, I'm going to prioritize staying on the bottom as usual. If the blaster shows up at the bottom, just jump up into the middle. And it doesn't go too quickly, so it's really easy to dodge all that. Bonelin Wall, again, here's just some alternate footage of it. I did get grazed just a little bit, but staying on the platform, I am safe the entire time. Now, Bones for Days. Don't be tricked by this. You just want to have some nice, long, even jumps, as opposed to a bunch of short ones. If you do it like this, it'll keep you safe. But keep in mind, your heart does move faster than the bones, so you will need to pace it a little bit like I did. Now, if you've made it all the way through that, you've hit the halfway point. Hopefully, you will eventually be able to get to this point without healing at all, which is good, because if you heal here, it doesn't affect the fight whatsoever. So take this time to heal. Don't spare him, unless you want to watch a hilarious cutscene, and then we can get right back into the difficult part. I call these ones mini pains. Keep in mind, it's not always going to be in this order, but this is something that you can expect. For this one, reflexes are everything. And once you get through that, you'll notice that now there is a bone in the menu. Yes, the bone will damage you. So you're going to need to time your button presses to avoid it. It will not kill you, but it can drain you all the way down to 1 health point, so look out for that. Now we've got the faster gasters. For this one, I prioritize moving in a circle, and since there's only going to be 1 laser on screen at a time, you really only have to look at the most recent blaster. So don't stress yourself by looking at everything. And then you'll have some more mini pains. Again, it's just all about those reflexes. Let's take a look at that third one again, because you need to avoid both the bones. You need to slide and jump. I know it looks tricky and I slowed it down there, but, be wary. Now, once you're back in the fight menu, you will notice that there are now bones on your options. So if you do what I'm doing, see, just bouncing back and forth like this, you'll be able to think for a second. If you really want to consider using an item or anything else, that would be the way to do it. All right, so get boned. This one is the one that I believe most people really struggle with, because you have to have good reaction time, and it gets much harder later. But here's a fun little trick. If you press all 4 of the directions at the same time, it will just automatically do it for you. Crazy, right? Probably something about not being able to go against the wall, so it just automatically jumps the opposite direction. It will seriously save you. So remember that hint. Big hint. And then we got the fatter gasters, which are just like the faster gasters, but a little bit fatter. They don't do more damage, but they have a lot more area. Same strategy there, just focus on the most recent one. And we got the bone jangles. Easy enough. I like to do this in a nice little circle, up one way, down the other. Here it is closer, so you can take a better look at it. But that's a really easy way to get through without getting damaged at all. Now, if you get this far and he starts mentioning the special attack, you gotta look out. That means it's coming up really soon and the end of the fight is near. As you can see, by using that special method, I was able to avoid all damage. Now, here's what the big final attack looks like. You'll have 4 of these, straight into the bone jangles. Then you're going to get thrown all the way to the right. You got some up and downs to go through. I don't do a really good job, but whatever. Some grouped bones as well. As soon as you hit the wall, you're going to need to jump to the left. So that'll be a jump. And these jumps are always the same. Up, diagonal down, diagonal left, and then here we go, the final section. Sorry, that's a little loud. Anyways, this one is very easy to get outpaced. So make sure you're moving in kind of an oval or stick as close to the center as you can without getting hit. Once you see Sans thrashing you around like this, well, you've officially gotten beyond the point where you can die. It is a smooth trip to the very end of the fight now. If you made it here, good job. You win. I know, it was really, really a tough one. But hey, it was worth it, wasn't it? Now at this point, Sans is going to be talking a lot. And his final attack is, well, literally nothing. And he even admits it. It's literally nothing. So his whole idea is to just outpace you. He has some really good dialogue here, so I would recommend reading it, soaking in the moment. You've earned it. But really, the main strategy here is to let him fall asleep. If you try to move right now, he will blink you back into the center of the square. But once he falls asleep, you can actually push the square all the way to the left, hit the fight button, and, well, you miss. Or do you? There we go. It's just that easy. Once you do that, you will have officially defeated Sans. He will give his farewell. And then you'll get to be able to move on with the genocide run. I don't want to spoil what comes next, of course, so you'll just have to discover the results of your actions. But hey, congratulations, you didn't have a bad time. Best of luck, all you people out there trying to beat Sans, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!